Hey everybody, how you doing? It's been a long time since I made a video. It seems like I say that more and more often, but it was a pretty dry summer for me. I really didn't get a lot of books, at least from what I tried to pick up. I went a long time in between purchasing books. The last video I made was in March. I think I bought a slab book in early April. I didn't buy another book for like 4 or 5 months. I think it was late August probably when I bought one. Just couldn't find stuff that was in my price range, and didn't find things in the grade that I wanted. So I'm fairly patient when it comes to that. They get a little bit frustrating, but you know, I search eBay every day and go to any shows that I can. But it was a long dry spell. Oof, man, it was torture. Couple things. ETA Nick put out a video, Slab Talk number 12, and in that he had received a magazine from somebody, and it was from the late 90s, and there's a very interesting article in there about CGC when it was starting to form, and all the different ideas on what they were going to do, how they were going to do it, how they're going to slab them. There's almost, if you would call it, an op-ed in there by somebody saying it'll never work because you're going to put them in a plastic case and you can't view them. They're not like coins. It's kind of what what I had said when I first heard about it too. But he put all those other pages of that magazine up, and it's very interesting reading. So if anybody wants, check that out. Very informative. Makes you think see what they were thinking when they were first doing this. How was it going to work? Was it going to be accepted? How are they going to do it? It's just really good stuff. So check that one out. It's called Slab Talk number 12. And there's another one out there you should check out. How to remove a comic from the new CGC holder. The video itself is pretty good, but there's a comment on there that you've got to read, and it's by Dr. Von Schilla. It's one of the best comment rants I've seen about CGC, and this is in particular about the new slab when they were having trouble with it. And he really rips them a good one. So if you want, check that out. I thought it was funny, but it was also on point too. Here's a book I picked up at a show. I had picked this up originally off the shelf, but the bottom staple had popped on it. And I never really was going to replace it. I just thought, so what, I'm just going to stick with it. I'm not going to replace everything in my collection. It has a little flaw to it. But I ran across this one at a show. The price was good. The grade was good. And it's similar in grade to the book that I had. I think I have it at like a 9.0 maybe. Let me see. Yeah, 9.0. Very nice book. Pages are real nice. And the price was good. And I figured, what the heck. I'll go for it. Also at shows, I picked up a bunch of Spider-Mans. I usually buy these ones if I can get them for under 30 bucks, and if they're either 9.4s or better. And the one buyer from Ohio, who I usually get a lot of stuff from, he had a nice run of these. Now this guy, he deals in a lot of Golden Age stuff and a lot of expensive books, so when he gets these, I think he just wants to turn them over as quick as he can. So he usually puts really good prices on them, so I usually scope him out first at the shows. But there's 161. That's a 9.6, 172. These are all in Mylar, so they're all going to look fantastic anyway. I got that as a 9.6, 9.8. I usually don't call anything a 9.8. There's a 9.4, 177, 178, 9.6, 179. That's a 9.4. And I got this from a different, no, I think I bought this one on eBay. See, it's been so long I don't remember. That's a 9.6, number 29. It's a tough book to get, obviously, because it's black. And all the sellers on this say low print run, but there's like 60 of them listed, so it ain't that hard to find this book. But to get it in the condition that I wanted, I was going to buy a slab one. I thought, well, it's kind of stupid to buy a slab on a modern book and crack it out. I know I did that before in my grading video, but I did that just so I could show people what the grades were. And I really didn't care about the books that much, and I got them cheap. But this one was raw, and I took a shot at it. The guy had really good pictures on it, and it is a real nice book, and I'm glad I bought it on it. I think it only cost me like 15 bucks or something. But that filled in a hole in my Spidey run. This one, number 700, I always love this cover. It, of course, when it first came out, went way up in price, and I just wasn't going to jump on it. I figured it's going to come down. You know, there's no way I'm going to spend that kind of money on a modern book. And I just waited and waited, and you know, it's been a couple of years since this one came out. And I saw, I think it was, shoot, I can't think of who it was now. Well, I can't think of the dealer, but they're on eBay. They have real good feedback. I bought from them before, and this is like a 9.6. I paid like, I think, $12 for it or something. But on a lot of books like that, I'm not going to spend the money on them because I know the price is going to come down on them. So I just wait, and you know, I had a couple other copies of 700, but I didn't have this one. Number 43, I picked this up at a show too. I had seen this a couple of years in a row. The guy had it on a shelf, and he really didn't have a bad price on it. And for some reason, I just wasn't ready to buy it. It's about a 9.0. There's a couple very little spine ticks here. I think there's a little bend somewhere too, but nothing, no creases, no color breaks or anything. But real nice book, and I needed that one. My copy was like a 4.0 or something. But beautiful book. But I waited for the right price. You know, I'd watched them slab there around $100, and a little bit more than that maybe. And just came across it and pulled the trigger on that one finally. This one I just picked up recently. This is another book that went way up in value. I believe it's the first Sharon Carter. And there was no way I was going to pay what the price was for those. I've been watching this for a long time. I have another copy that's like about a 5.0. And this one came up raw, and the guy had pretty good pictures, and he called it a 9.0. It's close, so I'll be safe and call it an 8.5, but I'm happy with it. Page quality is real good. There is a tiny little maybe 1/4-inch tear on the back cover, and to me that would that plus a few little nicks and dings along the spine, not much, but just a couple, for me would put that out of the 9.0. But it was fairly graded, I think. You're kind of nitpicking when you get down to that point. But a book like this, I'm not going to spend the going rate on it. I'm just not going to, because I think it's going to come down, and it has been coming down. So I've been watching that one for a while. And I don't know, 8.5s are going for, I don't know, $200, give or take, you know, something like that. And I just wasn't going to spend that much for it. I just think that everybody's so gung-ho to stick the key label on a book. Really, Sharon Carter? That's going to make it that much more money? I don't think so. Not in my mind anyway, and I wasn't going to pay it. So I do wait on a lot of books, especially when there's something like this that's older, that all of a sudden gets real hot, and I don't think it's going to be a really... I can't justify it, you know, so I just wait on it, and then I'll pull a trigger on it. But I got this one for like $100. And took a little chance. You know, I don't like to buy raw books because there's always... possibility of having problems. The guy shipped it real good. It was in a box. It was fine. It arrived safely, so I was pretty happy with that. So I just got this one about a week or two ago. When I buy books, what I try to do is I try to justify spending the money on them. You know, I've got like a little devil on my one shoulder, you know, saying buy it, and I've got the other one on the other shoulder saying, oh my God, why are you spending this much money on comic books? So I always agonize over buying a book. I'd say anything over $20 probably. I really have to justify to myself that the book is worth that and that the book's not going to go down in value. Now, of course, I don't always get that right, but I've been keeping track since 2004, and I haven't blown it on too many books, I'm proud to say. I looked up over the last couple of days. I went into eBay and looked at what has been sold, and just seeing how I did on a lot of these books. So I'll show you what I did on these. Now, I realize when I buy a slab that if I crack it out, I'm not going to be able to probably get the value for it if I try to sell it. I don't personally think the book has been that devalued that much, because if I want to sell it, I can always send it back in and spend, what, $60 and get it reslabbed. So if I do get a good price on the book, I'm not worried about unslabbing it. I have bought some slabs just as an investment, but those are cheap books. I'm spending, I don't know, 15, 20, 30 bucks on a book, thinking that, you know, in 5 years it's going to be worth way more than I paid for it. And that's mainly with, I'd say maybe Copper Age stuff. Every once in a while, some bronze, but you don't get them that cheap if they're slabbed. But anyway, I always try to justify the book, when the price that I spend for the book and the grade, of course. And I'll show you some that I bought here and how I did. This one I bought I bought this in '04, and I paid $100 for it. It was raw at the time that I was buying a lot of raw books. And this was one of the good ones that I got. I have it as a 9.6. There's really nothing wrong with the book. So I went and looked up, and it depends on the grade. You know, if you really do get 9.6s, it's going to be worth way more than $100. So I did okay on this one. This was when the X-Men were hot, and they definitely have cooled down since then. If I was to buy this book raw, it wouldn't be $100. It would be a lot less than that. But you're taking a gamble because you really don't know what you're getting raw. But I did okay on that one. This one, New Avengers #1, it's a Spider-Man variant. This book was really hot when it came out. I paid $68 for this book. A CGC 9.8 recently sold for $50. So, oops, you know, didn't make out on that one. Again, what I think of when I buy is the book hot? It's really not the time to buy it. But at this stage of my collecting career, I was buying everything. And I was got really into new books and was buying a lot of stuff. I was buying Spider-Man, New Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, a lot of stuff, all Marvel. But I was buying everything. I was trying to get the variants and all that. And I slowly, that lasted about 2 or 3 years maybe. And then I said, you know what, I really love the Silver Age. I'm going to stop buying modern stuff and go for more of the older stuff that I really like. But this one I kind of missed on. Also, one that I think I forgot to pull out. I bought a Ultimate Spider-Man #5. It's an orange cover, and it was I think I paid $77 for that. You can buy that thing now, graded 9.6, 9.8 for well under what I paid for it. So I blew it on that one too. But you know, I buy stuff that I like. I very rarely buy stuff just for buying it. A few I do. CGC books that I'm going to keep slabbed, and that's a handful. I'm talking like in my collection there's maybe 15 slab books that I kept slabbed. So mainly I don't do that. I just buy them because I like them, and sometimes you hit a home run. This was when I was buying everything, and I didn't buy #1 of this. I bought #2, and then when this one came out I bought it, but I think I bought this secondhand. It's probably like a 9.2, 9.4. It's just got some dings along the spine, but I paid $49 for that book. So that one I did pretty good on. It's probably a $200-300 book now. Avengers 57. Bought this at a show in '06. I paid $81 for it. At the time, believe it or not, that was about the going rate on that book. And I was kind of surprised. I thought that book should be worth more. First Vision, a main character, and I didn't have it, so obviously I bought it just for that reason, because I didn't have it. I had a coverless, but I bought it because I like it, because I collect the Avengers. It ends up being a better book today, but I thought that was a good price at the time. But that one I hit a home run on that one. Next one, same show. I bought Fantastic Four 57. That's like a 9.0. I paid $100 for it. And that was in '06. So here it is 10 years later, and it's still about the going rate. So if I wanted to sell this book right now, I'd be happy getting $100 for it raw. So, win some, lose some. But I love the book, so that's all that matters. This is one of my home runs. Tales of Suspense. Bought it because I love Tales of Suspense. And this was PGX'd at 9.0, and I paid $222 for this book. And now, of course, it's well over $1,000. So I got lucky on that one. But at the time, $220. It was before the Black Widow movie, or her and Iron Man and stuff. And it was just a book in the run. And it really wasn't that special at the time. But I bought it because I liked it, and I paid a decent buck for it at the time. Fantastic Four 67. Again, I collect Fantastic Four. It was a 9.0. White pages, and I needed it. This was one of the first books I bought when I was a kid, and that was beat up. I cut the thing out of there and stuck them on my wall, and tried to learn how to draw by tracing all the figures and everything. And so that book saw a lot of wear, but it was well used. So I had a chance to get this one, and I got this one in, let's see, I have it down here. Yeah, same year, '07. I paid $134 for it. So this book was slabbed, right? So today, if I had it slabbed, it'd probably go for about 500 bucks, maybe more. But I cracked it out of the slab, so I paid 134 bucks for this. So I could still sell it and make out, right? I could sell that for 300-400 bucks probably. You know, I keep the labels and I keep the books in good shape. And cracking this book out of the slab, to me, didn't hurt me financially. If I really wanted to try to get all my money back, I'd probably send it out and get it reslabbed. You know, and hopefully it'll come back a 9.0. But my point being that I love the book. I got it slabbed, I unslabbed it, I used it, I read it, I looked at it, I enjoyed it, I read the ads, I read the Marvel bullpen, I read the letters page, I thoroughly enjoyed the book, and now I can turn around if I need to and sell it, and I'll still make money on the book. So slabbing it in the eyes of a buyer might have devalued it a little bit, but when I buy that book, I bought it thinking, okay, if I crack this one out, am I losing money on it? And at the time I thought, no, I'm not. You know, I'm not losing money on it. So I cracked it out and I enjoyed it. Amazing Spider-Man 51. I bought that one in 2000 and I don't know. I'd say it was probably about 2008 or 2009. It's CGC'd Old Label 8.5. And I paid 200 bucks for that. And recently a CGC 8.5 sold for 153. So I overpaid for that one. So even if this was still in the slab, I could maybe get my money back on it. But this one I overpaid for. And at the time, it was for what they were going for then, it was a good price. Now they've come down a bit. I don't know if that's the entire market, because I have noticed the market has, in my opinion, gone down for even 8.0s, 8.5s, 9.0s. I've noticed a lot that I have bought are still at the same price. This being 5, 6, 7 years later, but there's some like that Tales of Suspense, which, you know, happen to contain a main character, ends up going way up in value. But again, it's a Spider-Man. I needed it for my collection. I love it. I'm not going to get my money back out of that book. That isn't why I buy books, though. I don't buy books to get money back out of them. I buy them because I, you know, finger quote, need them for my collection. You know, it's stuff that I want. So it's a comic collector in me saying, hey, you need that book. It doesn't matter what you pay for it. And he won out over the guy on the other side saying, no, it's too much money. But, you know, sometimes you win them, sometimes you don't. This one I purchased a couple years ago. 132 Thor. It was a 9.2 slabbed. And I paid 65 bucks for this book. Now, at the time when I unslabbed it, a lot of people are going, you know, hey, you're crazy. What are you unslabbing it for? What are you doing? Well, I had like a 4.0 in my collection and I wanted to upgrade it. And this one came along and I put in a low bid and I just happened to win it. Now this book is currently an 8.0, just sold for 110, and a 9.2 sold for 249 bucks. I paid 65 bucks for this. So by breaking it out of the slab, did I lose money on it? Did I ruin the book? No, you know, not at all. This is one where I got it for a real cheap price. Even at the time, I was amazed I got it for that. And I had no problem cracking it out, thinking I'm not losing money by cracking this book out of the slab. I'm just not. But that's how I do it when I buy stuff. I always think, if I wanted to turn around 6 months from now or a year from now, can I sell it for what I'm buying it for? And I do that, like I said, with every book that I buy. Everything that I buy, anything over 20 bucks. I really think, is this worth it value-wise? Can I flip this book and at least get what I paid for it? And I think that might be it. Yeah, that's the last one. I do have a couple of books I'm going to unslab. So I'm going to head downstairs and we'll crack some books out. Okay, everybody, here we go. This is my 2016 top 10 want list. Didn't do too good on it. FF51 I haven't gotten. ETA Nick has a copy for me. He's going to send me some pictures of it, I guess, and I might end up purchasing that from him. 66. There's a couple good ones on eBay, but they won't post back covers. I don't know why. They're both CGC graded, and I've asked both the sellers to post back cover pictures, and they won't, so to hell with that. Haven't found one of those. This one I found. but I'm not sure if I'm keeping it. So I'm going to say maybe, maybe not. I'll show you in a minute. 19, haven't found that. Avengers 62, my last video I showed that when I bought that raw. Avengers 57 is actually 59. I goofed on the number. So 59, that's the one with the kind of the red bullseye cover on it. Have not found a good copy of that I'm willing to pay the price for. Haven't found any of these. Have not found any of those. But I have found one of these. And that would be number 5. So I have that one. So basically, this is my 2017 list. There isn't really much change from the year before. Before I showed a couple books that I purchased upgrades for. Here's a copy of 53. That's a 7.5 but has a cover staple pop. This one's about a 9.0, has a cover staple pop. And that one's, I don't know, about a 4.0 maybe. If anybody's interested in those, send me a PM, we can work something out. One book I'm not unslabbing right now. Amazing Spider-Man 11. Just purchased this recently. It's a lower grade than I normally get, but on these older books I'm kind of changing, you know, I can't buy them all in 8.5s, they're too expensive. So I've kind of decided that if I could find a little bit lower grade and a really good price, I'll do it. I've been watching this one, everybody wants like $750 or $775 for it, all CGC graded. This one popped up way under that the other day as I buy it now, so I bought it. This is a new slab. It does have a lot of the oil spots, Newton rings, whatever you want to call them. There's a little more wear down here than I care for along the spine, and there is a chip over here on the corner that looks like it might come out. And that I looked up the grader's notes, and they did have both of those things noted on it. Staples look pretty good. Back cover's real nice. I don't really see any bends or creases or anything. There really is no color breaking creases anywhere on the book. So I would imagine I'm probably going to end up keeping this, but for right now I'm going to have to stare at it for a while and decide if I'm going to crack it out or not. If not, I'm just going to flip it. I could probably make a couple $100 on it pretty easily, but I'm holding off on that one for now, which is something I usually never do. Okay, I got a couple here to crack out now. First one is Avengers 53. It's a 9.2. I got, of course, what I consider a very good price on it. I've already cut the one side because I know it's going to get a little tedious after a while, so I'm just going to cut it along the top here. And we'll pop it out and see what we got. Alright, let's see, it didn't cut all the way through. There we go. Hey, look at that. Pretty good. Okay, there's my 53 9.2 by CBCS. Let's see what we got. Pages look nice. It's a little off color, but not too bad. And they did call that what? They call that white pages. I don't know about that, but that's okay. As long as the color is real consistent on them, I'm fine with it. We'll get ahead to the staple here. Great artwork in there. John Buscema. I'm getting to the centerfold pretty soon. One more. Okay, those look pretty good. That one looks a little weak, but it's okay. Looks nice. Nice book. Alright, I like that. I got a really good price on that one. A lot less for what 9.2s are going for. I just happened to luck across that one, I guess. The last one is a good book. Avengers number 5, 8.5. There's a dealer who I mentioned before, the guy from Ohio, that comes up here twice a year. He started listing a lot of stuff on eBay, and I watched this for a while. And he had it at the going price, and I really didn't want to pay that for it. So I knew that if I got to a show and he had it there, and I could get a really good look at the book, I would probably take a swing at it. And of course he knocked off a bunch because he doesn't have to pay eBay fees and he doesn't have to pay PayPal fees, so he knocked a pretty decent chunk off it. And I actually tried to get him down a little bit lower, but he said he had paid quite a bit for the book and the only way he could make 50 bucks on it was to sell it at what he sold it to me for. So being a 8.5 and an older book, I just didn't want to let this one get away. This is in a nice slab. The slab was pretty good shape. Let's see what we got. Alright, got that open. We'll save the banner. And let's take a look at it. Number 5. Alright. I'm psyched about this one. I have actually held on to this book from March, or early, I think it was early April, and I haven't unslabbed it. So I've been dying to get at this one. There's a little rub up here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Alright, you know, no big deal. I mean, it's an 8.5. It's going to have some defects to it. It does have a tiny little color breaking crease right down here. The spine looks real good. A little bit of wear on it. Tiny bit of color loss, teensy bit of color loss down here in the corner, but you know, those are all minor things, and this is an 8.5, so let's see what we got. Oh, very nice. The color on this is just as good as the color on the last book I showed you, and that was 4 years older. So they still do put the paper in there at least. Old Jack Kirby, oh, I love it. I can smell the book from here. Alright, there's our staples. One up top here, the other one down there, very nice, very secure. I know you're looking at it sideways, but I'm doing it this way because it's a lot easier for me to turn the pages. Nice, I've only seen this book in reprints. I never had a copy of this myself. Nice, oh look at that, beautiful. Wow, that's a really nice book. Yeah, it looks really good. Oh, happy with that one. Woo! Home run. That's a great book to put in my collection. Alright, thanks for watching everybody. Take care. I'll probably have another video in about 2.5 years, so hang in there with me. Alright, take care.